Yamina. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today's video, I'm going to share with you the time that I was on a crew team when I was in high school. And I had been thinking about this video for years because in 2019, the college admission scandal came out with some folks in Hollywood and their children. It was related to some of them pretending to be on a crew team, a rowboat team, and they got in trouble. It was a lot more complicated than what I just said, and a lot of people got in trouble. And I thought about it for years because I was like, ooh, I should do a video about when I was on a crew team, and I really enjoyed it. So first I'm going to show you where I lived. I'm going to show you some pictures and then I'll tell you the story. So this is the MTA, what do you call it, subway system map. So I lived, let me see, where did I live? I lived in Brooklyn. Let me look at it. Okay, I lived in Brooklyn, and I would get off at this train. Where is it? I can't see it on this side, but I can. Okay, I would get off at this train station, and where I lived with my family was like a block and a half away from this train station. But I went to school all the way down here. So I would say it took like maybe 30 minutes to an hour to get to school every day. And I hope that shows it. But yeah, I went from here. Where is it? Okay. I went from, here we go. I went from here. Hopefully this is showing on the camera. All the way down here, and I took 2 trains and a shuttle. I think I took 1 train and a shuttle maybe, and they were all trains in one variation or another. We crossed the bridge, we crossed Jamaica Bay, and I was next to school in Jamaica Bay. So I think I'll show the pictures a little later. So I grew up in New York City. I went to all my schools were in New York City, and I grew up mostly in Brooklyn, but I lived in the Bronx, I lived in Manhattan, I lived in Queens. I never lived in Staten Island, but I love Staten Island. Let me see, did I miss anything? And I lived in Brooklyn. There we go. Yeah, I lived in Brooklyn for most of my life. So I ended up going to school in Queens. I ended up going to 2 high schools, but that was my second high school that I went to, and that's the one that I graduated from. So I wish that when I applied for colleges after high school, I wish I had remembered to try out to see if there was going to be a crew team, a rowboat team at any of the colleges. But what I ended up looking for when I applied for colleges was I ended up looking for colleges that offered a creative writing and psychology as options for that I could do both of them at the same schools. So I actually forgot to look for a crew team because I had thought that I was going to try out for the crew team because it's a super fun sport, but it's a bit expensive. So my second year of high school, when I was 16, I had just left the art class, the art club that we were starting in my high school, and I decided to join the swim team and a crew team at the same time, and it worked out because the practice times that they had were kind of staggered from each other, so I didn't have to worry about being at 2 places at once when there's only one meet. It usually just worked out schedule wise for me to do both. I did end up dropping the swim team pretty quickly because I didn't like the interaction that I was having with my male classmates. I just felt uncomfortable, and I felt like they were looking at me too much, and I was already a self-conscious teenager, and I didn't want like the boys to be looking at me too much when I was just very uncomfortable, and I just wanted to swim, and I just wanted to get things done. So I think I stayed on that team for a few weeks, maybe a month or 2, and then I left, and I ended up doing a crew team full time for the 1 semester that I did it, and it was a great experience and it was a bad experience. And the reason why it was a bad experience is because the boys on the team, we had only 5 girls on the team, and then I think we had 13 boys on the team, and the boys would bully each other, especially they would especially bully one guy in particular, and I didn't know what to do about it. I didn't tell the coaches, and I thought the coaches knew what was going on, but I didn't tell the coaches. I felt like outnumbered with like even saying anything. Like the boys didn't bully the girls and the girls didn't bully the girls, but girls were kind of catty towards each other, and I got along with them, but I wasn't super close to them the way I thought I was with one of them. Like they were not my friends, and super odd enough though. Anyway, I'll tell you later near the end of the story. So I was cool with the girls, but I wasn't super close with the girls, and one of them kind of seemed a little two-faced, and then the boys just bullied one guy in particular who was a very dedicated rower, but at the same time he had like something physically different about his body, and they just would not let up. They would play these pranks on him that I thought were just like really harmful and really disrespectful, and I didn't know what to say about it. So I actually left the team because of the bullying, and I left the team because it was too expensive for me to continue to be part of that team. Because whenever we went on trips, we went on multiple trips to do meets, which were basically challenges. Meets, so MEET. So we would basically have challenges with other schools in our same age range and in our same grades, and we would compete against each other, and I really enjoyed traveling. Because we were the only school in New York City itself, in all the boroughs of Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, Manhattan, Manhattan, and the Bronx. There we go. We were the only school in New York City that had a crew team. We always had to travel out of the city to actually have competitions, and we always had to pay for it. And because my mom didn't have like a lot of extra money to give for the team, like the coaches somehow managed to allow me to be able to go because I had to be there. Our boats only had 5-seaters. I was the left, I think it's called the port rower. I was the second port rower. So our boat sat 5 people. One of them was the coxswain, who would basically like yell to us any instructions, and she sat up front. And then we had the first port rower, we had this first starboard rower, the second port rower, and the second starboard rower. I think that's what it was called. And I was on the left. I was on the port second, and I loved rowing. Like I loved it so much. I got tan, and I did not wear sunblock back then, so I probably got super tan. And we were out on the water all exposed, so that happened. But it was just so much fun. Like I love being on the water. I taught myself how to swim when I was 12 years old. We didn't wear life jackets when we were rowing because that would have obstructed our ability to row really fast. But our coaches always had a pontoon boat that had a motor on it that they would take out on the water whenever we were on a meet, whenever we were on practice. They would take that boat out on the water, and they would like not be too far away. If anything should happen, they would be able to get to us fast and grab us out of water. Thankfully, nobody ever fell in the water any time that I was on that team. Like no one ever fell in the water, so that was awesome. We went to Poughkeepsie one time for a meet. That was super fun. I don't remember if we stayed more than a night, and then we had the meet the next day. I don't think we won. We went to, where did we go? I have pictures of one of the last places that we went to. We went to Poughkeepsie. We went to Marietta, Ohio. We went to, where else did we go? Oh, we went to DC for a meet, and I think we stayed for a week or a few days to a week. I got to see a really beautiful pier there. Oh my goodness, that pier, I still have memories of that pier. It was so pretty. I keep thinking it was fake, but I really was there, and it was beautiful. We went to DC. We had a meet there as well. It was fun. I don't know if we won. I don't remember if we won or lost what, but I can tell you for one for sure. We went, okay, we went to DC, we went to Poughkeepsie, we went somewhere else, we went somewhere else. My mom never had money to be able to help with that because she had 5 kids. She was married but separated from her husband, and she worked full time, so there wasn't any extra money to go around besides just paying bills and taking care of groceries and everything. And so I felt pressure from owing them money, and they never like the coaches never said, oh, you owe us money so you can't go to this next meet, or oh, you owe us money so you only can practice, you only can train, but you can't go to this meet. They always made a way for me to go because they needed 5 people on the boat for the girls, and it would have ruined everything if I didn't go. So they always made a way for me to be able to go, and I thought that was so awesome. But because of the bullying that I was seeing on the boy, and also because of not having the finances, I felt very uncomfortable continuing to be on that team. So I did leave. I did leave by the end of the school year. That when I was 16, I it was before I turned 17. So I think I was 16 the whole time, and I might have started when I was 15. Yeah, I think I started when I was 15 and I left when I was 16 because, yeah, I think that's right. So I'm going to show you some pictures. So this picture, and I actually have these people's names on here, but I'm not going to read their names. But this picture was a team of people who we raced against in Ohio, Marietta, Ohio, and they won. So, let me see. I just want to make sure you can't read through there. Okay, yeah, they won, and they were super sweet. And I took all of these pictures because my father gave me a camera when I was 15, and I took millions of pictures with it. Like, so many pictures. Okay, and I want to see who's in this picture. Okay, so when we went to Marietta, Ohio, we stayed on a college campus, and these are some of the college kids that were friendly towards me. I was very extroverted, and since I wasn't super close to the people on my team, I ended up hanging out with the college kids, and they were super nice to me. They ended up giving me candy, a big tub of candy. They told me to share, but I didn't end up sharing it, but they gave me a big tub of candy when I left the college to go back to our high school after our meet. So they were super sweet. This is a picture I took in Marietta, Ohio, of the boys taking their boats back inside to the storage area. And this is where I'm taking a picture. It's in the area, it's on the balcony area that was the boys' place. So when we were in Marietta, Ohio, the girls stayed on the college campus and the boys stayed in a cabin-like place, and it was able to fit all 13 of them, but they were very, very messed up to each other. So, yeah. So this is another picture I took. Hold on 1 second. So I think this is a picture of the boys getting ready to have a meet. Let me see. And I don't know which team is which, but this is a meet, I think, with my team and then the other team. Yeah, I can't tell because they were wearing jackets. Our school color was gold and light blue, but they were wearing jackets, so I really can't tell who's who. I think it might be them. It's my team. This is a picture of the college kids and one of my teammates right here. That's my teammate, and I hope that's pretty visible. But yeah, I took like a whole bunch of pictures with them, and I took a lot of pictures because I love taking pictures with my camera. Those are the boys on my team, and I think one of the girls is in there. There's another girl there too. I don't know. I did not get a single picture of myself when I was on the team, which really disappoints me. I had only gotten that camera when I was 15, and I hadn't gotten used to doing the self-timer yet, but I sure did take advantage of the self-timer once I got used to using it. Ooh, this is a picture of the meet. So these here are my teammates, and that's the other team. I don't remember who won. I know the girls team, our team lost when the girls did it. Oh, this is a practice. This is a practice. So I think they practiced against each other possibly. I don't know. I don't know. But that's my team right there for sure. But it says it's practice. And then this is the boys again. I feel like this. Oh, this is Ohio too. Okay. Anyway, this is Ohio. That's my guys' team. Right? That's so weird. But anyway, yeah. Marietta River, Ohio. Okay. And this is the last picture. That's my coach. That's the woman coach. She was not usually with us, but she was my roommate when we were in the college. So I took a picture of her. But let me see. So yeah, I left the team for those two reasons. I wish I could have stayed. I wish I had thought of when I was going to college to look for a crew team, but I literally forgot. And my 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 high school ended up having a reunion in 2018. I actually was in New York City in 2018. They had a reunion in 2018. I connected with one of the people. She was a stranger to me, but she had been on the crew team years prior, and I thought I was going to have to do it by Zoom because I wasn't able to make last minute plans to meet them. They were going to be in an area that was kind of hard to reach. I was supposed to be hanging out with my mom and my mom's husband and seeing my grandparents. It ended up completely not working out because I lost all internet access when I went to visit my grandparents with my mom and her husband. I lost all internet access. I ended up spending hours on the phone doing a tech call for my grandma. So I completely forgot about connecting up with them for the Zoom. Um, it was supposed to be like all the years that people had been on the crew team. We're supposed to meet up for this reunion. Our main coach was supposed to be there. So I missed out on that, but I'm not 100% sad because I told the woman over the phone I did not consider any of them to be friends. It just was what it was. But the guys, they would have been great if they hadn't been playing those kinds of pranks on each other. I did have a crush on like two of the guys at different times. So that was a thing too, and they both knew about it, but they weren't interested when I was interested, and then vice versa for one of them. And then the other one never had a crush back on me, so that worked out, but it was fine. So yeah, I had crushes on a couple of guys. The guys were not nice to all the other guys, and they didn't bother the girls. And the girls, we got along, but we were not super close. Like none of them were my besties, and it just seemed like we were not very cohesive. Like we knew how to work together when it came to actually doing our training, because we trained in a gym prior to going out on the water and training. But and we worked together well when we did our practices on the water. We worked well when we were in our competition, but other than that, we were like not close knit. I think they were closer to each other than I was with any of them. There was only two black people on the team. There was me and another girl, and that was it. And there was no problems with like our races there at all. Like everybody was cool about that, but the way the boys treated the other boys was not cool, and I was not close to the girls. So I hope that made sense. That's the end of my video. I really love the crew team. I love being on the water. I love boats. I don't know if I would ever want to go on a cruise ship though, because those stories about people getting lost at sea don't sound good to me. But I love boats. I love having a good life jacket on. I love rowing. It's just so much fun to be out on the water. And now that I know what I know, I definitely would be wearing like more sunblock out on the water. But being on the water when I was a teenager was so much fun. So much fun. So yeah, that's the end of my video. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope what I said made sense. I kind of felt like I was jumping all over the place, but I just trying to remember all the details that I could think about. and I just had a lot of fun. And when we traveled for our meets, we usually took a bus. We took a school bus, so I forgot to mention that. But that's the end of this video. Let me know if you have any questions. Please take good care. Please stay safe out there wherever you are,